I always thought being a parent would be the most grounding experience of my life. Kids are innocent, right? They say wild things sometimes and you just smile, ruffle their hair, and move on. But not this time. Before I get into it, if you like strange, unsettling true stories that blur the line between reality and something darker, go ahead and subscribe and hit like. This story is one I wish I never had to tell. My son is 5 years old. He's bright, creative, a little quiet, and honestly, just a normal kid. Until the morning he sat on the edge of the couch and said, "Whiskers is going to die today." Whiskers was our cat. 15 years old. Sure, but still moving, eating, purring like always. I laughed it off. "Why would you say something like that, buddy?" He just looked at me, calm. No smile. No hint of mischief. "Because he told me goodbye." I froze. But again, he's 5. Imagination is just part of the deal, right? That evening, I found Whiskers curled up under the coffee table. Not breathing. No visible injuries. Just gone. I didn't tell my son right away. Couldn't. My wife was in shock, but I told her to leave it alone for now. Next morning, he walked into the kitchen and asked, "Is Whiskers gone now?" I didn't know what to say. I felt cold inside, like something was out of place in the universe. But I buried it. I mean, grief does weird things to kids. Maybe he sensed it from our expressions, our energy. I wanted to believe that. A few weeks passed, and then it happened again. We were driving back from the grocery store when he pointed out the window and said, "Grandma's going to the sky soon." I almost dropped the bag of apples in my lap. "What? What do you mean?" "She's packing," he said. "In her dreams." 2 days later, my mom died in her sleep. No illness. No warnings. The doctors called it a heart attack. Peaceful, they said. I wasn't listening. Now I couldn't explain it away. This wasn't just coincidence anymore. I started watching him closer. The way he'd stare at corners of rooms like he was listening to someone. The way he whispered sometimes into his toys. And the things he drew. One night, I sat beside him as he was coloring and asked gently, "Hey, how do you know those things? About Whiskers? About Grandma?" He didn't even look up. "They tell me." "Who tells you?" He finally looked at me. "The ones who know." That was the first time I truly felt afraid of my own child. But nothing prepared me for what he said next. The night he told me I was going to die. And not someday. In 3 days. I was brushing my teeth when he said it. Calmly, casually, like he was telling me we were out of cereal. "You're going to die in 3 days, Daddy." I froze, toothbrush still in my mouth, foam dripping onto the sink. "What did you just say?" He repeated it. "You're going to die, but it's okay. You'll come back smarter." He left the bathroom like it was nothing, like he hadn't just dropped a psychological nuke on his father. I laughed at first, not because it was funny, but because I didn't know what else to do. My brain was searching for some kind of explanation. Maybe he overheard something on TV, maybe he's mimicking something from a game or video. Maybe, but then I remembered Whiskers, Grandma, the dreams, the way he always knew something was about to happen. And suddenly 3 days felt very real. That night I barely slept. My wife asked me what was wrong. I told her. She chuckled. "Kids say the weirdest things." I wanted to believe her. I really did. But then I saw what he'd drawn. I found it the next morning on the kitchen table. A picture of a man in a hospital bed. Machines around him. Flat lines on screens. And in the corner a small figure, my son. Smiling. I confronted him about it. Gently. Carefully. "Hey, buddy. This drawing. Who is this?" He looked at it for a moment and then said, "That's you. When it happens." "When what happens?" "When you fall and your head bleeds and the floor gets red. But don't worry. It'll only hurt for a little." I felt sick. It was too specific. Too detailed. And he was too calm. I called in sick to work. Stayed home. Locked all the doors. Avoided driving. Didn't even shower, as if hygiene could kill me. Every creak in the floorboards made my heart race. Every sound outside felt like a countdown. But day 1 passed. Then day 2. No accidents. No signs. just tension so thick I could barely breathe. Then came day 3, and that's when the knocks started. Not on the front door, on the walls, from inside the house. I woke up before sunrise on the 3rd day. My chest felt tight, like something was sitting on it all night. I didn't tell my wife, but I'd barely slept at all. I went to check on my son. He was already awake, sitting on the edge of his bed, just staring at the wall. "Did you hear that knocking last night?" I asked him. He nodded slowly. "They were getting ready." "Who?" I asked. He turned to me. "No fear, just calm. The ones who come before the end." I didn't know whether to scream or run or hug him. My hands were shaking. I hadn't eaten. I hadn't showered in 2 days. I was falling apart and still alive. But for how long? Around noon, I tried to distract myself. I played music, loud, danced around with my kid, laughed until I cried. I even forgot for a second. Then the power cut out. TV, lights, even my phone went black. Dead. The whole house went quiet, like it was holding its breath. That's when the whispers started. Not from outside, not from a device, from behind the walls. I pressed my ear to the drywall near the kitchen and heard it. "We're waiting." I stumbled back, grabbed my kid, ran to the car, only to find all 4 tires slashed. Not punctured, torn, like claws had ripped them open. My son pulled on my shirt. "It's almost time, Daddy." "How do you know?" I screamed. He just pointed to the sky. Clouds were swirling unnaturally fast. The kind of movement that doesn't happen in nature. I rushed us back inside and locked every door, every window. I even considered the basement, but something told me not to go down there. And then, it hit me. The drawing, the hospital bed, the head injury, the red on the floor. I ran to check it again. It was gone. And in its place, a new drawing, a doorway, and someone standing in it. Not me, not my son, not anyone I recognized. I stared at the new drawing. It looked like my front door, down to the cracks in the wood and the crooked number 12 on the wall above it. But what chilled me was the thing standing just outside. It had no face, just a smooth, pale surface where eyes and a mouth should be. It wore something like a coat, black and long, but it bled into the shadows behind it. And its hand was reaching for the doorknob. "Who is this?" I asked my son, my voice shaking. "He's the one who brings the end," he whispered. "But only if you open the door." I checked every lock again, nailed down windows, turned the couch sideways and pushed it against the entrance. My wife thought I was losing it. She begged me to stop, to rest, to breathe. But I couldn't, because at exactly 3:33 a.m., the doorknob twitched. Just once, like someone had touched it with just one finger, testing it. And then I heard it. Not knocking, not scratching, breathing, heavy, inhuman, right on the other side of the door. "Don't open it, Daddy," my son said. "You can't open it." "I won't," I promised. "I swear I won't." But then came the voice. Not my son's, not mine. Sounded like my own mother. "Sweetheart, open the door. Please, I need help." I froze. My mom's been dead for 5 years. The voice turned to my dad's, then to my sister's, then to voices I couldn't even recognize, but that all somehow knew everything about me. Each one trying to convince me, each one sounding more real than the last. I backed away, hands on my ears. "Don't listen," my son said. "They'll say anything to get in." Then I noticed something. The drawing. It had changed again. Now the faceless man was inside. 1 foot across the threshold. 1 hand almost touching my shoulder. And I wasn't the only one in the picture anymore. My son was gone. The house was silent. Not the kind of silence that feels peaceful, the kind that feels wrong. Like the world forgot to breathe. The voices stopped. The scratching. The breathing. Gone. I turned back to my son's room. Empty. The bed was still warm. The drawing on the floor now showed me, curled up, terrified, and that thing behind me. No face. No mercy. Just watching. I ran through the house, room to room, calling his name. But I knew. He wasn't here anymore. Please, I whispered into the dark. Take me instead. Then the phone rang. I don't even remember plugging it in. It shouldn't have worked. But I picked it up. It's not about taking, the voice said. It's about replacing. That's when I saw the door open. I didn't hear it creak. I didn't feel a breeze. It was just open. And in the hallway stood my son. But something was off. His smile was wrong. His eyes didn't blink. And when he spoke, his voice echoed like it came from a cave. It's done now. You're free. What do you mean? You passed it on. And he pointed toward my laptop. It was still open. Still recording. Still uploading. Someone will watch this, he said. Someone already is. That's when I understood. This story, the one you're hearing now, it isn't just a warning. It's a transfer. By watching this, you took my place. That's how it spreads. That's how the door stays open. But don't worry, I'm free now. Free with certain knowledge. And you? Well, you'll start hearing them soon. Whispers. Footsteps. Breathing. Whatever you do, don't open the door. Unless you want to be free too.